It was just harmless flirting, she said, laughing like my world wasn't falling apart right in front of her. Her eyes still carried that same sparkle, the one that used to pull me in, but now it felt venomous. Sweet on the surface, deadly underneath. I can still hear that laugh. It wasn't nervous or ashamed. It was bold. She actually thought I'd believe her lie. Maybe because I always had before. It began months earlier, little jokes that didn't seem dangerous. At least not then. I'd notice her smiling at her phone, thumbs flying, then flipping the screen face down when I walked in. When I asked, she'd grin and say, "Relax, Alex. It's just Dan from work. We joke around. He's harmless." I wanted so badly to believe that. You don't marry someone expecting they'll turn into a stranger overnight. You don't think love will one day feel like suspicion wrapped in silence. But once trust starts to break, it doesn't fall apart all at once. It chips away, quietly. The first time I saw their messages, I hadn't meant to. Her phone lit up on the counter while she showered. I wasn't snooping. I was just tired of feeling crazy. Last night was Danger's winking face. The text read, simple words teasing, but my chest clenched like I'd been hit. My hands trembled as I scrolled, almost dropping the phone. Inside jokes, after-work drinks, little secrets she'd never mentioned to me. Nothing overtly sexual, but everything between the lines screamed intimacy. It wasn't the content that broke me. It was the tone, that warm, familiar tone she used to save only for me. When I confronted her, she laughed again. "Oh my God, Alex, you're ridiculous. It's flirting. Everyone does it. Not everyone's married." I replied. She shrugged, sipped her wine. "You're being paranoid. Maybe if you weren't so uptight, you'd know what harmless fun looks like." That hurt worse than the text. For weeks, I tried to move on. Told myself maybe she was right, that I was overreacting. But doubt doesn't disappear, it lingers. In every late-night text, every meeting that ran too long. Then came the company retreat. She said it was team building. I asked if spouses could come. "No," she said easily. I believed her, until someone from HR, a friend with too much pity in their eyes, mentioned that several people had brought their partners. That was the moment the noise inside me stopped. I didn't yell, didn't accuse. I just nodded, kissed her forehead, and said, "Have fun." She smiled, relieved. While she was gone, I opened her laptop. I'm not proud of it, but pride didn't matter anymore. The ache in my gut was louder than my conscience. Her inbox confirmed everything. Emails with Dan. Plane tickets, seats side by side. A hotel reservation with a king bed. There was black and white proof of what she denied again and again. When she came home that Sunday night, she smelled faintly of whiskey and someone else's cologne. She looked drained, maybe even guilty. But when she saw me sitting at the table, she put on that rehearsed smile. "You're still up?" she asked. I didn't answer, just pushed the laptop toward her. "You left this open." Her eyes darted to the screen. In that instant, every mask she'd ever worn slipped away. "It's just friendly flirting, right?" I asked quietly. Her voice trembled. "Alex, it's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like." She tried to twist it, said it wasn't physical, just emotional, that they'd made a mistake. But I'd seen enough. Every word felt like grit scraping against my skin. She cried that night, begged me to listen, swore she'd end it, do anything to fix what she'd broken. And maybe, if she'd shown even an ounce of remorse before, I might have tried. But all I could hear was her mocking tone. "It's just flirting." So I stayed silent. And in that silence, she unraveled. Over the next few weeks, she tried everything, deleted accounts, quit her job, started therapy. She wanted forgiveness. She wanted me to believe it was a momentary lapse, not a betrayal that hollowed out our marriage. But forgiveness can't be forced. The more she reached out, the further I drifted away. Nights turned into quiet standoffs. Dinners went untouched. The house that once felt alive became a mausoleum of things we didn't say. One evening, she took off her wedding ring and set it on the counter. "Tell me what you want me to do," she whispered. "I want to feel like I can trust you again," I said. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Then let me show you." But trust doesn't grow back. It's not a wound that heals. It's a limb that's been severed. You can pretend it's there, but the phantom pain never leaves. The day I filed for divorce, she showed up at the courthouse looking ghost-like. Pale, hollow, trembling. She still wore her wedding band. Her lawyer tried to spin it, called the affair a misunderstanding. I nearly laughed. Misunderstanding. That's the word they chose. When it was my turn, I didn't yell or look at her. I simply handed the judge a folder, screenshots, emails, receipts, proof of what she called harmless fun. She stared at the table, color draining from her face. When the judge asked if she had anything to say, she finally looked at me. Her voice cracked. It was a mistake. I nodded. Yes, but not mine. Outside the courtroom, she stopped me. Alex, do you hate me? I paused. No, I don't hate you. She looked almost relieved, until I added, I just don't know who you are anymore. Tears flooded her eyes. For a moment, I almost reached out, but then I remembered the months of gaslighting, the laughter, the way she made me question my own sanity, and I walked away. My footsteps echoed down the hall, fading into the cold air outside. That night, I sat in my car for a long time before starting the engine. The weight of everything, the love, the loss, the betrayal, settled quietly in my chest. It wasn't victory, I felt. It was closure, the slow, steady kind that lets you finally breathe again. Somewhere behind me, she was probably still explaining herself, calling deceit a misunderstanding. But the truth doesn't need to be explained. She once joked it was just harmless flirting.